Hello, and welcome to episode 25 of our Vault Hunters Sky Vaults Season 3 or 3rd Edition Let's Play, playthrough, series. Anyways, I hope you're all having a fantastic day thus far. I know I myself certainly am, and I guess this day is currently ending. But basically we were over here in the flower forest. We made a new little platform. It's not too far from the base. Yeah, I mean, I guess it looks a lot further when you look at it like that. But essentially what we'll need from the flower forest are these tulips. I believe you can also get them in plains or sunflower plains, and then maybe one other place. But nonetheless, we needed a specific biome. Anytime you're ever looking for a specific biome, just grab your nature compass and tally-ho. Now we're not going to be going back through the nether, even though it is quicker, just so that way I can show you where it is in actuality to the world here. It is across the Great Barrier of Land. That's fine. This is our squid farm here that you're seeing. And now, finally, we're coming upon something that I hope you don't catch too much of here. Trying to turn back in without showing you. There we go. Okay, that was done pretty swiftly. Alright, so, what I wanted to show y'all was the turtle habitat. It's here. Now, it's not fully, I guess, functional, you could say, yet. Although there should be at least one little bitty baby turtle floating around. Oh, hey, he's grown up. Oh, and he doesn't have all that much health. Hey, wait, whoa, buddy. Let me help you. It's seagrass, right? You just want some nice seagrass to chomp on. I think that'll heal you. What happened to my seagrass? Hello? Oh, there it is. Alright. Hey, Mr. Turtle. Yeah, it gave you a little bit of health. Not a whole lot there. Honestly, I kind of just want you to be careful up here on the beach. So if you could follow me, por favor. Yeah, and you don't suffocate, do you? You know, from lack of water or anything? Certainly hope not. Come on. Come on. You know you want the seagrass. It's oh so very tasty. Oh, come on, just a little bit further. How did you get so damaged in there, huh? Did you happen to walk on top of a magma block? Because that's not, you know, that's not what you need to be doing, really. It's not why you're here. Move. Alright, and move back. I think we can block it in with all one-off areas like this, which is good because we don't have enough blocks to really do anything else. Alright, now can he get out of there? I don't believe so. Cool. So you just stay there. Eventually, you will have your partner here hatch, and y'all can be together once more. Yeah, the turtle sanctuary, it's completed, it's done. And it's, if I do say so myself, absolutely gorgeous. This took me a long time. I've been waiting to record this episode for when I get done with this, because I started it and I got pretty decent into it, and I was like, no, I can finish this. Surely I can finish this before the next episode. And then it turned into, okay, no, I have to finish this before the next episode. Not for any one reason or anything. I don't know, self-determined goal. But nonetheless, here we are. And basically what has been done, we take a pop out here to the side, you'll see, we built a large tank and just covered the bottom with cobble. And then up top, we basically just filled sand in, a little bit of gravel and some other varying blocks down below, threw some coral down there, a little bit of lava patch in the here and there. Now, this is probably where our turtle got hurt at. I'm not going to remove it, though. Once we get enough turtles, we don't have to worry if, you know, one or two of them happen to accidentally pass away. But that's the only portion that I could think that they would get injured on. And again, I don't really want to get rid of it. I like it. It's very natural. If you're wondering how I have lava underwater, it's just stained glass on top of the lava, and then water can't get to it. Looks really good at a distance. But yeah, and then we've also added these sort of anchor type things to our portal, and we've also updated our portal to look a bit more snazzy. It looks a bit fuller now. We finished the backside area. We got these nifty lights, these large chains. It just looks a little more official, inviting. I don't know, but it looks good, and for that, I'm happy. So that is majority of what we've done here today. Now we are going to be getting into some thermal stuff, but not today necessarily. If you haven't seen the video, I've posted one very recently about how you can get modded ores in Sky Vaults currently, and this is a solution that I've come up with myself. So it's just something you either go with and you got, or you don't, and that's all right. But essentially, we can start making things like tin, silver, lead, nickel using our induction smelter and some modded ores. Now, initially, I do have it like this as a 2-to-2 trade, but I think we are going to knock it down to a 2-to-1 trade, right? And we'll just think of it as them using the metals or something. I don't know. But I think a 2-to-2 trade, you get a bit too much out, right? You get a bit too much, so... if we use this recipe at all today, if we use any of these induction smelter recipes at all, before I get a chance to update them, we will simply take half of everything that is created and destroy it. And I know it seems a little cringe, but honestly, I just haven't had the time to go update the recipes yet, and so that's what we'll do. That being said, I have no plans on diving into getting tin and all that stuff today. Instead, my plans rather revolve around a different mod entirely, and this mod ideally will allow us to simplify one of the harder things with Minecraft. One of the more annoying, I guess I should say. And that's why we needed tulips. I literally had to build a whole platform to pass that one little test there. Let's go ahead and pop this crystal off. And just as a good little comparison here, normally this chest has at least 5 to 9 crystals ready to... How did this not... There we go. 5 to 9 crystals ready to go in at any one time. However, right now, it's down to 2. We've also got some equipment here we need to take a quick little peek or gander at, right? All this unidentified vault gear. We did happen to get some rare pluses, which are pretty nifty. Let's grab that, third that. Well, that's not too shabby. But yeah, so we can go back and look at our vault history now. So we had one here recently where we hit 116, one where we hit 109. And if we open this up, I believe this is our... Yeah, we had 31 ornates in this vault. I'm pretty sure it was the X marks the spot room, right? Beautiful. B-E-A-U-T-ful. And then this one, what do we do here? 109 chests looted, 22 of which were living. This is, again, thanks to our hunter ability. So we've started to get a little bit more proficient at running vaults, right? We're not going to be doing these vault rocks. I like to do those off camera because it's literally, do I need gravel? Okay, let me go type in gravel. Speaking of gravel, yeah, we should be perfectly fine on it. And we'll get into why that is here in just a moment. We got, like I said, a decent little bit to update on, but that's just because I was trying so hard to get that turtle sanctuary out that it kind of pushed us back a bit, right? Pushed us back a bit. Speaking of back in bits, we did work a bit on the back of the island as well. It's just not nearly as noticeable comparative to how much work we got done up here, but, you know, we started to fill this in with snowy area, and I have the cobblestone laid underneath there. So let's take a look at what we got. 11% block chance, that's not too shabby. Although it is on the lowest end of tier 2, so I guess it is shabby in relativity, but you know, relative to tier 1, it's perfectly fine. 19.5, hello. Gorgeous. Ours right now has 17, so that's literally 2.5 points of extra attack. Now, what I will say is it swings 0.5, 0.57 slower, something like that. That's honestly pretty significant, right? You can essentially take half of the damage. So after 2 swings, right, you can get 3 attacks in the variable amount of time. Or you can get 3 attacks, rather, in the variable amount of time. Whereas with this one, you would only get 2, 2.5. So this one is still technically more DPS, but This axe could definitely be the backup. 52 crafting potential. Ooh. Maybe not. We'll see. Looking at our chest piece, we have 5 and 2 armor, trap disarm chance, and durability. Honestly, that's pretty bad. The durability is a nice roll, nice high tier 1 durability roll. But our current chest piece is 6 armor, 682 durability, which is still good, plus 3 armor, plus 5 health. We have an empty suffix I need to do something with. I didn't even realize we had that. What the heck? Guess we're gonna go add something to this. But yeah, mana regen, this, I mean, of course it's Omega as well, so it is, you know, yeah, you know. I almost feel like I'm wasting the crafting potential, but I also can't imagine I want to reroll this, right? 3 armor, 5 health, resistance, and mana regen. I'd be a fool. Abadi, dabada. Wait a minute. Okay, they're orc. They look very similar, but they're orc. We do have another wither piece, though, I believe. So let's see, 7 armor, 4 health, 4 resistance, 835 durability. No kidding. Starting to hit more often on the tier 2. So we have 3 armor, 3 health, item quantity, 7 armor, 4 health, empty suffix, and resistance. Wow, these are just a straight upgrade. Okay, well let's take a look over here. We have this epic chest plate that's furnace. Epic Vault Shield, which has really high crafting potential. If we did use this, we would probably want to reroll the implicits on it, though. So yeah, I mean, we have this Epic Druid Shield, but it's got really bad implicits. This Bard Armor, I guess, can go down here. It'll be off to the side. 14. What's the crafting potential? 110? But again, the implicits are kind of shabby. We need to get another large chest going, one for good gear and one for... you know what I mean? You know what I mean. We all have those double chests full of the questionable stuff. And oh, hey, there's the Wither chest piece, which I'm imagining goes with our Wither boots. Now, we got this at level 15, so obviously the armor and all that's not very great. We did get the plus 30 mana as a legendary roll. We're probably going to end up scrapping that, not going to lie. But the boots, we definitely need to swap boots over, right? So we're probably just going to go ahead and get those enchanted up here. And that'll be the new boots that we rock, so that's cool. Anywhoosers, let's take a look at the table real quick. Nothing I really want to use. We do stay pretty low on soul shards just because I buy stuff as often as I see it. Can't help myself. And then as far as bounty tables, we finally finished out the skeleton one, so we do have that bounty crate to open, which I'll get to in just a minute. And then we're selecting a new one. I do like the reward from this, but I don't feel like rushing it right now, so we're just going to do a kill the zombies, and this should be really easy, right? Really, really easy. So that is all that done. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I mean, obviously we have our bounty crate. Oh, right. Mystery boxes and booster packs from the Mist Vaults. And then where is the bounty crate? There we are. Because again, regardless of how good this stuff may be, I don't really want to open it unless we're on camera here. We only got one. The Dragon Relic. I think we only have one of those, but hey, that's fine. And from this, we got 3 echo. What is going on? I've gotten so many echo from these mystery boxes. I'm not complaining. Trust me, I'm happy as a clam. As a lamb? As a clam in a lamb? Oh, probably not too happy. But yeah, all this free echo. And then from there, we got a bit more chromatic, some vault alloy, a little bit of knowledge essence, some silver, a lot of silver there actually. Yeah, I'm extremely satisfied with my results. Thank you, game. Thank you kindly. I do appreciate everything you do for me. Now, let's take a look at things, because, you run the vaults and all that. This is strictly vault items, so we can sort of see where we're currently sitting at. We have a whole lot of vault ingots, kind of in relativity, right? But I don't really feel like, going through the pickaxe blazing stuff. This is still literally our first pickaxe we made. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy to say that I'm still using the same one. And when it breaks, I'll be sad. So we do have a whole lot of knowledge shards because obviously we have the hunter ability. You saw we're able to find 20, 30 living chests per vault if it's a good / decent vault, you know? So we've been running the course on knowledge shards, which is great because you need it. You need it to level yourself up, to feel better about yourself within the game. And most importantly, we're going to need it today to unlock modular routers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going with modular routers. I've thought and fought very hard against this for quite a while because everyone goes modular routers, and honestly, I just didn't want to be another statistic, you know what I mean? But there's a reason everyone goes modular routers. They're so good. Today we're going to be getting into exactly what you can do with modular routers because I think their potential is not necessarily truly being reached with people that are just playing in overworld worlds, because there's a lot of farms you can automate with modular routers that XNet simply doesn't allow you to do. Now, I did gain one, so you see up in the top right, we have 2 unspent skill points. I did have 3. However, I put an additional point into Vein Miner, so now we're at 6 current blocks, right? That's because to get the water in the Turtle Sanctuary, essentially, I placed all the bottom cobble, right? All the base layer. Then I placed all the sand. And then I covered the entire thing with cobble, 1 layer below where I wanted the water, went back and filled in all the water, and then I had to break all the cobble. So that's kind of where that comes from. But yeah, so that's why we have 2 unspent skill points, even though technically we should have 3. And as far as the mods go, modular routers. Again, XNet is really, really good, and it's really good at condensing your farm size down. However, it doesn't necessarily make it any more prominent to be able to build additional farms. So, modular routers, on the other hand, allows us to get into a farm that I'm very fond to say should be very easy to create. So, let's see if we can actually build this stuff here and now. I'm going to say no because we need the blank module. So we're going to need 4, I think it's 6 modular routers is what we're going to go for here. So if you get 3 from each recipe of this, and this gives you 2, we literally only need this recipe once, at least for the time being, right? So what are we missing here? The middle stuff? Yeah, that seems about right. Let's get our magic silk block. Extraordinary. Oh. A perfect Larimar. 3. Oh. Uh-oh. Larry, come back. You can blame it all on me. Fortune. The building gadget. And honestly, this is kind of one of the nicest things about the building gadget. Say what you will about it, but I still love her. And then we do a little surface. See what I mean? Like, it's so easy. Open a stack of Larry here is enough. Stack of Larry ore, right? Not just of Larry, regular old Larry. Nobody likes regular Larry. Is that 2 stacks and a little bit? 2 stacks and a little bit. So let's do that, that, and that. And now you'll probably notice that I don't overcraft things when I'm crafting vault items. I don't want to be wrong, okay? I don't want to be like, oh man, I just wasted 500 Larimar and I didn't even need this. Alrighty, so we got the 3 blank modules. Let's look into these. Each one's going to require 4 perfect Larimar. We're going to need 12 perfect Larimar, I believe. Right? Which is 48 regular Larry there, so a little expensive. 6, fantastic. I was a little worried we weren't going to be able to make that. All right, so we have all of our modular routers. What we're going to need is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 breaker modules. 1 placer module. A vacuum module, if at all possible. Although, this requires a POG. What does Actually, I think it also requires a POG. There's a block from thermal that sucks up blocks as well, called the vacuum. Yeah, okay. So this also requires a POG. Tinted glass, block of tin, frame. Ooh, okay. So how expensive is this one? Block of chromatic steel plus a POG. So one of them is vault diamond, one of them is steel. I think we get steel more often. I want to. So the thing is, we don't necessarily need this vacuum upgrade quite yet. I can create a POG. That's kind of nice. We'll hold off on the vacuum. We'll hold off on the vacuum. So we have the breakers, we have the placer. What else was there? There's breaker, placer, activator, I think. Which this one you don't technically need because we don't have to go that route. So this might be all that we really, really need here is the breaker and placer modules. We can upgrade this later with the activator module and with the, what was it again? With the vacuum module. But for now, let's just start with this. So we're gonna need 4 breaker modules, right? Means we're gonna need 4 blank slates. We're gonna need this recipe twice. So 2 extraordinary Larimar. Let's just pull up Larry, huh? Where you at, Larry? 2 means we need 8 here, right? There we are. Then what was the other thing? 2 silk blocks. And that should do it. Cool. Cool beans. So we're gonna need 4 of these, which basically just means we need some pickaxes. We have stone in here. We do. We should have some sticks. I know we got sticks, right? Yeah. Alright, so if we need 4, 1, 2, 3, and what's that for? There. Couple to grow on, you know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna need a placer module. Boom, bam. And then we're gonna need some storage stuff. So network cable. We'll want the import, although it doesn't have to be filtered technically. We'll want an export, so let's look up simple storage over here on the side. And well, make some more basic network cables first. Now what am I missing from this? A piston? There we are. Export. Cool. Beans. Beans are really cool. Dun, 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 dun. We'll take a dispenser, and we'll need 2 observers. Are you observing this? You should be. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. And a lever, right? Never forget a handy dandy lever. Oh, it's nighttime. Which, I mean, it's kind of fun. Twofold here. 1, we've had this sleep charm for forever. We got it very early on in the series. 2, nighttime is the only time for these turtles down here to actually hatch from their shell. So let's see. No. There's a % chance that each night a turtle egg will hatch just slightly. And it has to do this 3 times. So if you're wondering, hey, why is my turtle not growing? I put down the turtle eggs. It's been 35 Minecraft days and I've seen nothing. Probably because you're sleeping through the nights and you need to not, basically. Right? So we'll leave it at nighttime. We will leave it at nighttime. I did update the news board, by the way, with a piece of kelp. I just didn't want to unlock modular routers and then place one right here as like, hey, look, this is also what we did today. That's kind of how I'm feeling, is like, that's what I want to do. Any hoosers, we're going to pop on downstairs, and I did empty all this out, so hopefully, oh gosh. We've got some problems with backup issues, okay? Anyways, down here we need to update y'all on a couple other things, and I can't do it while this is going off. So, a couple other things that we did. I did go ahead and build an induction smelter so that way we can get into doing the modded ore recipes, right, with chromatic and our vanilla ores. So that is going to be nice when we do get into needing tin and lead and silver and all that. We can use this. However, I also went ahead and used some nickel to make ourselves these hardened integral components. So this requires 4 Invar, 1 gold gear, and then the rest of this is very simple, right? Glass, redstone. It's very, very cheap. And what it allows you to do is literally upgrade your machine to do double the power, double the process, that kind of stuff. And then Invar, of course, you can get Invar by doing a 2-to-1 ratio on nickel here. And what I generally do is just put in the dust because we already have the pulverizer, so it's really easy. And then you get 3 back out. So did this, what was it, 3 times? Right, so 3 nickel, and then we were able to get 2 hardened integral components, which means our pulverizer now moves a lot faster, and that is why, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much gravel down in here, right? And, you know, flint and all that. And basically what I do is I just come down here and toss some of it back up top there and, you know, let it keep on keeping on, because this system has not failed me thus far. We've not run out of lava since having started this machine, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, you can place cobble in here and it gives you a chance to get sand. However, you can place random gravel in there and you'll guarantee yourself sand. So this is a good way to have infinite gravel, infinite sand, and infinite dirt, because obviously you can combine gravel with dirt to get coarse dirt. And we'll also be using modular routers later on to set up ourselves an automatic dirt farm. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, oh, speaking of dirt, I actually need some dirt. I knew I was going to forget something. How lucky do you think we can be to just find dirt in one of these front chests here? Not too lucky, huh? Also, I have to turn my block sound back up. It's a little eerie not hearing the chest open. Oh, also we have like 100-something burger patties and buns and all that stuff. I'm not eating it because I like where we're at level-wise. Sure, we could use some more points, but if I use more points and I level up, it's gonna make us weaker. It's gonna make my sword deal less damage in relativeness, right? So that's what we're kind of trying to avoid as much as possible anyways. Yeah, do need some dirt. Dirt, 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 dirt. And we might need a chest. Take a couple of chests, because why not, man? Okay, so we have two pieces of the dragon relic there. Let's pop on down, down, down. And now we should be fine to set up our new system here. Which, you know, we still haven't fully set up this system, but it requires a POG, and I haven't fully sorted out what I want to throw into all the drawers quite yet, so we're just kind of putting that on hold. Putting that on hold because I want to work on something else, basically. Now, do we have... Yeah. Oh, we have a music disc in here. What the... Okay. I mean, we did slay some mobs when we were doing the big tank there, and you can see there's kind of still some. There's probably one that spawned on the backside there. A couple areas are poking out. We just got to go up there and, you know, destroy them, but we'll get to that. For the time being, what I would like to do is actually building gadgets, and then we select this, and then do a little build to me action. I just want to expand this ever so slightly here. And I just, yeah, cool. Okay. Need some torches. I don't carry torches on me. Blasted. Here's one that's a little too close to be really useful. And there's one. Maybe this one doesn't need to be here. Maybe this one's a little too close. Little torch rearrangement goes a long way sometimes. So I try to make sure our torches are only ever in spots they need to be. That being said, something like that. Okay, so let's build this auto tree farm, shall we? Because I'm sure you saw it from the title, and you're like, oh heck yeah! And then I'm sitting in here rambling about this and that, and you're just trying to see how to farm trees, man. I get it, totally get it. So you want to build your little dirt spot, right? And this is where your tree is going to be coming from. Then you're going to want to set 4 modular routers looking into this spot. These are going to be the modular routers that break your stuff. Then you'll want to go up 7, 6, and 7. And break. Oh, whoa. What do you think you're doing there, Vault Pick? Not meant for this life. Is it 7 or is it 6? I think it's 7. Anyways, 4 modular routers looking in, 1 on the side looking in, right? And we will have our dispenser. Observer. And they'll keep on doing the clicky. Just want to turn that off. And actually, I think we want to do this on that side. So, we're pretty much done. I mean, we need to configure our modules here. We need to place in the saplings and set up the connections. But outside of some things in the here's and there's, this is the system. It's literally that simple. We'll throw an export into there. We'll throw... Yeah, we'll throw an export into there. And then we need importers coming off the back of each of these. Right? And we might need some more network cables here. What? Give me that back. What do you think you're doing, you rascal? Definitely going to need some more network cables because we need this to hook back into the system over here. That's okay for the time being because we have to get some oak saplings. And that might be it. Let's see. Oak saplings and some more linking cables. Basically what I saw down there. So oak. And actually while we're at it, let's go ahead and grab a thing of wood, a thing of saplings, bone meal, and then just some network cables. Oh, what did we run out of? Oh, glass. Right. We completely out of glass now? Yeah, okay. Alright, that's fine because we have a ton of sand, which, honestly, I need to get a redstone furnace set up as well, but neither here nor there. Let's go throw this sand into the smelter, and then we'll pop on back down below. Do we have... I believe we have everything. Just throw a whole stack. I'll throw half in there and half in. Oh, thank goodness you can't smelt building gadgets, otherwise that would have been tragic. Alright, and here we are. So basically what we're going to want to do is right click with these breaker modules. We're going to want to set it to front. That's where the action will be taking place, right? This is none, this is front. And then we want to set a filter. This module will only run if the filter matches, meaning the breakers will only break if there are oak logs in front. And since we have all the breakers stacked up, each one should say the same thing. So if I separate them out now, right click on this one, oak log, front, oak log, front. And so if you leave them stacked, that is how they will operate. Unfortunately, you can't just shift click them in because that is still how they operate. But yeah, essentially you just want to go through and place one breaker module in each of these 4 after you have it configured for whitelisting on the oak log. And then we'll want to go into here. And with our placer module, you want to right click, front, oak sapling, good to go, whitelist. And when you put that in and some oak saplings, boom. Ooh, aha, free. What we'll want to do then is fuel our dispenser with some, EO classic bone meal. We have this exporter because we're going to be pulling bone meal directly from the system. We'll set up an auto bone meal farm somewhere else, and this will allow us to essentially put bone meal in wherever we have the farm set up and pull it out down here for infinite use. That being said, you don't technically need bone meal for this farm to work. It'll just work a lot slower if you don't, right? So you can leave this setup and it'll continue to work and build you wood. But if you don't have bone meal going, then obviously it will be a little bit slower. And in our exporter here, I actually want to take one of these because we're going to want to set it to oak saplings. Now we have this additional modular router over here. That was for the vacuum upgrade, which I guess we might end up getting into anyways because we're at this point now. So let's see. I want to just go the most direct route. I think so. And we're still not going to have enough. Let's pull this way. It won't be enough, but it might put us to where we can bridge this gap momentarily. Okay. So we're just about done. We could technically throw the farm on now, but I don't wanna. I really want to make sure we have everything in place. So let's pop back up top. The sand should be smelted for the large majority here. Good. Ooh. Are we gonna be able to? Yeah. Okay, and then we just throw that, and boom. Is there anything else that I was missing down below? Don't believe so. Okay. Bam. And now, this will start pulling bone meal. That will fill up to 64. And we should be good to go. Now, this is going to export directly back into our system. I think what I like better, the idea of it going into... Ah, shucks, we're going to need another network cable. Oh, somebody had said, hey, Chance, you should put a crafter down below. And while I very much agree that would make my life a lot easier, the crafter's very expensive. And so... yeah, I don't want to. We have any link cables? This is a filtered link cable, but it'll still do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So we got the storage upgrade from our mod box. I guess we could use it. I don't really see us filling up on wood though anytime soon. So we got way too many potatoes here. Potato overload. All right. So let's send the results of this into... I was going to send it into a chest, but we got drawers, so we don't have to send it into a chest. Eventually, they'll be set up over there, but for the time being, we can just throw this right here. Actually, hold on. Throw that right there. And then we'll want to put one sample in there so the drawer knows who's boss. And we just throw all of our oak in there. So this will constantly export oak from the system, which should be constantly put in through here. And I believe everything is ready. Again, this modular router just goes for pickup stuff. And you will need a way to get more oak saplings. So the vacuumulator or the vacuum module, both are kind of needed to make this infinite. That being said, 64 oak saplings will run you for quite a while here. So if we turn this on, eventually this tree will grow, and it should only be 4 blocks tall here. Now, this method using the dispenser uses a lot more bone meal, I've noticed, rather than using an activator. So there we go. All those broke, and if we come back over here, now we have 64 and 7, right? So we got 4 additional logs there. We can just leave this going. So this is 64 and 7. There we go, breaks them all. Oh, got a stick popped off from the leaves. Now it's 64 and 11, right? 64 and 15. And yeah, that's literally it. So what we're going to do for auto bone mill, we have the iron farm that produces a lot of poppies. We'll probably set that up going into bone mill and then sending, of course, that bone mill back into our system because we've already ran out here. Perfectly fine. We'll just turn that off. And this is where the vacuum module would come in handy. All these saplings that are dropping, right? It would essentially pick them up and automatically put them back into your system. Whereas right now, anything that falls around here while you're not here is not going to be collected. So yeah, that gained us, what, 20 logs at this cost of, what was it, a stack? 2 stacks of bone meal there. But you see the effectiveness of the machine. And again, we can leave this here. Trees will continue to grow. This will continue to break them down. And our oak log storage will continue to go infinitely if that's, you know, if that's really what we want to do here. So that is the quickest, simplest, easiest, cheapest wood farm I think possible in Vault Hunters, in Sky Vaults, and in regular vanilla. So there you go. Now, obviously, if you're in vanilla overworld, you can just go find a forest and chop down a whole lot of trees. Kind of makes it a lot easier. If you're in Sky Vaults and you don't really want to worry about wood, there you go. There you go. That's it. And again, this extra modular router would be used for the vacuum, right? The vacuum module, which we may set that up later. Right now, I'm not too concerned with it. So, all that being said and out of the way, let's pop back up top. Sand is going nicely in there. Uh-oh. Jumped out to the wrong side here, but it's okay. Be able to make it back in one piece. I need to take down that cactus farm. We literally have no use for it. I've grown so many cacti using our botany pots up top. It's not even useful. Okay, so this egg still never hatched. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't think you were going to have to be in captivity for so long here, but your friend just don't want to visit, don't want to come out of his shell, so to speak. Yeah, we'll basically just run a system down from the iron farm there and probably connect it underneath the base back into this place, right? Well, actually, it'll probably be down there that we connect it in. But yeah, I'm thinking we'll just pull it straight down through the floor there. And we'll send the iron into, how much does a compacting drawer cost? I know there are a lot, but is it worth it, basically, is my question here. Not really. Maybe on something like Vault Dust, right? I could justify doing a compacting drawer for Vault Dust, because Vault Dust is kind of annoying to constantly go in, pull out, condense down, all that kind of stuff. That being said, I don't see us doing compacting drawers on... Oh, no. Almost slow floated down. But yeah, I don't see us doing compacting drawers on the easier things, such as iron, because we just don't need it. So I'll probably have that split off into 2 separate things, right? Have the iron be exported into a drawer and have the bone meal be exported, or have the flowers rather be exported into a bone meal setup, and then we can have the bone meal run back into the tree farm. And that should just increase our production ever so slightly. So if we take a look at oak here. Oh, you know what? It's not set up. I'm glad I looked at that, right? We're going to need storage. Link cable. I'll take the basic network cables down too, just in case. If you want to have access to your wood within your system, you're going to need to link it back in, right? So this is exporting, but it doesn't necessarily give you access to it. This should give you access to it. And hopefully that doesn't do any kind of weird looping thing. Oh, come on. Alright, so now if I type in oak, there we go, 83. So, has it grown some while we were away from down there? Happy to see it if so. And then as far as bone meal goes, if we ever want to just supercharge the system, we can also do this, right? And throw it in. And then if you'll notice, it's 185 right now, 177, 165, 161. And as that goes down, our oak supply should go up. So if we see we're at 83 right now, and eventually that will increase. We also probably need to start taking these things down and making sure that we have what we want in here, because they're starting to get pretty full. To the point where we might have to set up some drawer systems for all of that. Wow, is this not... Let me make sure our system's working fine. But putting bone meal in there should have allowed bone meal to get put in here. Oh, it's turned off. Right. Well, as long as we're not near here, we can just leave it turned on, right? There we go. All right, cool beans. Because we're not gonna hear it all the way up here, right? Right. Okay. Actually, I did want to go check on the turtles real quick. No? I just want this one to grow up, because as soon as it does, we're going to hit it with a whole lot of seagrass to, you know, increase, or rather decrease the amount of time that it takes for it to grow up into a large turtle. Also means I'm probably going to need some more seagrass down in my area, because it's starting to look a little empty. But hopefully this will be the night. I did have this whole barrier surrounding them because I was a little afraid that things would get to them. Honestly, I think they're good. I don't think anything can spawn on the island. I've done a fair job of flying over this place and making sure all was well and well. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are ready to dive into our vault for today. Although, let me check the video time, because we've been rambling for quite some time today, right? We did the modular routers, we did all the updates. It's been a blast. And just to give y'all another look-see into modular routers, so we can go over a couple more things that we'll be doing with this mod, because I do think that it's really, really effective. And everything that we need to do with it, I think we'll be able to. So essentially, let's go back down to the rest of the routers down here, right? So that way we can look at one as an example. Turn that off. I'm sure the bone mills ran out, right? So let's just open up any of these. It doesn't really matter. Modular routers are all fairly simple once you get the hang of it, right? So this buffer is essentially the block's internal storage, right? It can hold items. Oh, shucks. Should have known that was going to happen. It has the import cable. It can hold items there. It can be pulled from with hoppers, with cables, with, you know, any kind of modded stuff that generally interacts with an inventory. You can do it to the buffer of a modular router. So we could also insert into the buffer, right? And that's kind of how we have this set up, to where we're using the buffer as a holder for items. And here we're using the buffer as an export for items. So that is that. Sorry, this is also a really good way to get apples if you're in need of some of those. Anyways, so the modules down here are read left to right. So if you have a breaker module here, and then a sender module, which if you're ever curious about what these do, you'll notice, maybe you won't, but in the middle of the section where it tells you about the sender module, it says hold I for more info. If you hold I, it says what it does. Sends items from the router's buffer to any inventory directly along an X, Y, or Z axis. Clear line of sight is required, and opaque blocks will prevent sending. Saying something like glass and leaves will prevent sending. So it has to be a complete straight line of sight, meaning I could have it here, and I could have something straight above it, or straight behind it, or straight in front of it, but I could not have it diagonal like here, right? Because this is not parallel to it. So yeah, that's that essentially. Most of the modules do exactly what they say. So breaker module, what do you think it'll do? Breaks the block that's adjacent to the router. And then of course it pulls the item in, which allows us to send off. The activator module is really useful, and this is something that we'll be using more and more as time goes on, because this simulates right-clicking from a player, which is a great way of creating infinite mud. I'm not sure if it works with the mob cages up top, right? The animal pens or whatever, but we'll certainly be trying it out. And then we also have things such as a sender module, right? Which can allow you to send items away, which acts as a pipe system to a degree. Now, of course, we kind of already have this with our simple storage network, but we can also do liquids, right? We can do fluid transfer now. We can do energy transfer, so that's good. And then we have access to things like the placer module, which allows us to place blocks in the world. Distributor, like all of this is mostly just for ensuring that your farm runs at the proper speed and at the proper rate and all that. But the key ones are going to be things like the sender and puller modules. And the extruder is kind of nice as well. You could make an auto an auto farm with this for some of the more menial type things, right? You could have it send out ores automatically that you could mine up and get your gems from. Various things with the extruder module. They're really cool, and we might get into them later. But essentially, all we're focusing on today is using these to create the sapling farm. Next, we'll probably get into the dirt farm, how to go about creating that using modular routers. But I think that's a pretty nifty setup there. And you know, the turtle sanctuary. I think those two things made for basically the entirety of this episode. I think we're going to call it there because we have spent the entirety of this episode explaining. But you know what? It's a good testament to the fact that Vault Hunters doesn't always need a vault in it, right? You don't always have to go vault running in order to make an episode great or grand. Sometimes we can just build a little farm and say, hey, look what we did. Look what we achieved and accomplished. I feel pretty accomplished. I don't know about you guys and girls. And what'll make me feel even more is if I can look at oak and see that it's gone up by 50 since having turned that thing on, and I'm happy with our results here. Now, again, we don't necessarily have to worry about... That's the wrong backpack. We don't necessarily have to worry about setting up the auto bone meal farm quite yet. We can still do it very manually, and it's not even going to be that big of an ordeal. That being said, you know, expect us to set up probably the iron and the bone meal setup at some point in the very near future. Maybe next episode we'll do that, and we'll do dirt, and we can have, you know, some more farm building because we've been running vaults for a long time now. I just like to get into a bit more of the mod creation. Speaking of mod creation, we got building gadgets unlocked in the previous video, and we sort of showcased it. Hopefully at some point in the future I'll be able to showcase it a bit more. Because I know some people, like, you see building gadgets and you're like, oh, that's cool, whatever, I can build lines. But the effectiveness comes in when you start using things like building a vertical wall, right? Where you can build this higher and higher to make it a great side, or, as I did here, sides for a tank, right? Or horizontal column, where you can give you a nice big platform, or even better, horizontal wall, right? Nice flat platform. So, building gadgets, I know it may seem a little daunting to begin with, but trust me, once you get the hang of it, it's, oh, that hurt. It's definitely going to be worth your time and energy to learn. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Learning with Modular Routers and an episode without vaults. Let me tell you. Why don't you tell me what you think about that? Was it good? Was it bad? Is it something we should do every so often, or maybe keep it to a minimum? I'd be excited and thrilled to know what you think and your opinions on how often we should be doing episodes like this, or if ever again, right? Maybe you're like, no, this was garbage, Chance. What do you mean? An episode of Vault Hunters with no vaults? What are you, crazy? Are you crazy? That may be what you're saying. And if it is, that's fine. Hey, just comment it down below, but be kind. There's no need to be rude when, you know, having criticism there. So, like, comment, subscribe. Of course, share this out with friends, family of the friends, and friends of the family. If they're, you know, in need of wood, you just let them know. I got them. I got all the wood for all the people of all the worlds of all the Minecrafts. Share, like, as per the usual. Stay awesome. Stay safe. Stay crafting. And until next time, you beautiful, lovely people, peace out.